Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be coloring in Rose Windows by Creative Haven with Touch 5 markers, and we're going to be doing this page right here. Now I have taken the liberty of doing the background already. I've done these with Touch 5 markers, and actually I had some pretty good luck with this. As you can see, I've had very little streaking thanks to the tutorial that Anne gave us about how to do the background without the streaking. So I had pretty good luck with it. You can kind of still see some spots in there, but I think my marker was starting to get a little bit dried out a little bit. So up here we have more of the spots that you're going to be able to see because he wasn't quite as juicy as he was down here. One thing I have noticed about these Touch 5 markers is I don't know that I'm going to be doing backgrounds with these very often because it puts down a lot of marker, and on this paper now, of course, like anything else, it's going to bleed through. It totally bled through. I have cardstock behind here. But it just seems like doing the backgrounds, it puts down a lot of marker, especially when it soaks into the paper. So I don't know that I'm going to be doing backgrounds very often with Touch 5 markers in the future. So I'll probably just do pastel or acrylic paint just to save the life of my markers. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to take this ultramarine and we're going to get started on our picture. I hope everybody can see and that we are in frame. So now I know that it has been a little bit since I have put up a video. Now we're going to see how this acts with the grayscale stuff in this book. But I do know that it has been a while since I have done a video, which I apologize for. And I'm gonna tell you why. Like, I mean, I'm okay, I really am, but with everything that's been going on, we have been super busy, and we have been just super busy, and life has been just absolutely crazy. We've been just doing one thing after another, and I mean, like, I kid you not, 4 days out of last week we were doing something, and it got to be just really old. I mean, I'll tell you what we've been up to. A lot of it was Lions Club stuff. I think most of it was, in fact. So that's what we've been doing. Like I said, the last 4 days out of last week, we've been doing stuff. And also, you know what? Like, like this week I've actually had some downtime, and let me tell you, like, I have not wanted to do squat. Like, I just wanted to just take my downtime and just diddle around, and like, I didn't want to do anything. Now I had to do like the regular stuff like laundry and all that crap, but as far as like even coloring, I really didn't feel like coloring. I just didn't want to, like, and I go through spurts like that where I just don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, and so I don't, and like, I didn't want to, so I didn't, and so ergo, no videos in about a week. But like I said, and I did want to get that color and gab up for you guys last week because I did know that we were going to be very busy, and we were. So, but this week, like I said, ooh, and I got out of the line on that one. I just did not want to. I'm still trying to get used to this bullet tip. I just did not want to do much of anything like that. I barely kept up with my journal entries even. I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks. I am rereading the Left Behind series by Tim LaHaye and Jerry B. Jenkins, which is a religious fiction series. And I've read it before, but I wanted to go ahead and do that again. Because I have all of these on audiobooks, and I kind of feel like that I want to get my money's worth, and sometimes I just get in the mood to reread something, so I do. So I was rereading the Left Behind series by Tim LaHaye and Jerry B. Jenkins, and I messed that up right there. Sorry, don't mean to give you the finger, but I'm going to have to color over that with something. So one thing with these bullet tips is a lot of times I will get out of the lines. I got to get used to these bullet tips. But they're great for doing the bigger spaces. It's just I have to I just kind of have to get used to them. So I like to get my money's worth, so I've been rereading that series, which is a good series. I mean, if you know, it kind of, what it is, it's a depiction of what could unfold in the book of Revelation, like in the Bible, like how things may unfold. And, you know, they have fictional characters and all that. So, I mean, it's a good series, and it's a fast read. They're a fast read, so it's not like it's going to take you a super long time to get through it. But if you like, you know, Christian fiction or religious fiction, it's a good series to read. Both my husband and I have enjoyed it. And I do have to say, though, and I keep getting out of those lines. I'm going to have to, like, this video, it's just kind of just playing around with these, because, like, in this Rose Windows, like, I want to try out different mediums and see how it works with the uniqueness of, like, it kind of looks like sort of more grayscale-y kind of stuff in this book. And so I'm going to do different mediums just to see how it's going to act. So today is going to be Touch 5 markers. Now, as I was reading the introduction, it did say that it would act really good with crayons, with wax crayons. So that's going to be another one I'm going to try. But I'm getting out of the lines a little bit, but I'm not going to get too fussed about that, because I'll color over that with something else. But yeah, so this video is just kind of a playtime. Oops, just kind of a playtime. And I got marker on me. This video is just kind of a playtime. It's not going to be anything major, because I just, you know what, like I just want to test out these different mediums in this book. And this is one book that I will definitely be buying again. No lie about that. I will be buying this book again, just because I like it so much. Alright, try to find the next color to just kind of put on the outside of that. Should I do? So that was ultramarine that I did, and I'm just gonna go kind of nutso with color here. Oh, here we go. Wine red should be okay. And I'm going to color this with the fine tip on here, because that's what got me in trouble in the first place, because I colored outside of the line with the bullet tip. So I'm just going to go over this part right here, and so I don't know if I'm really going to call this color and gab, although it is more of a color and gab video. But I'm going to start naming some of these a little bit differently. That way you guys kind of know right off the bat, like, what I'm coloring in and with what. Try to get so my head. I'm trying to be mindful of my head, although sometimes I'll look back at the footage and won't think that my head was in the way when it was. I'm probably going to end up making a mess out of this picture, but now I'm not going to blend or shade or anything. I'm just going to put straight color on here, just to see how this is going to work. See if it's going to work. Maybe it's going to turn out super ugly. I don't know. I've not used any kind of markers on anything like this. So we're just going to play and just see how things turn out for us. Try to get so you can see. And I always try to pick one with some bigger spaces to color in, because it's just a little easier for me to do with these kinds of videos when I'm doing this on camera. Although sometimes you still get the small lines in here, and I have to get kind of close when I tackle that. But we're going to make do the best we can, like always. Okay, so this part here was one area that I got outside of the line with the... Now this paper, it's probably not the best for these markers, but we're gonna do it anyway. Now, like I said, we've been super busy last week. This week, not so much, thank goodness, because I was telling my husband, I said, you know, this is really getting old, and I said, you know what, like this summer, it's just been totally redonkulous, and I'm really just getting sick and tired of having to just pick up and go to this or that or whatever, and half a dozen of the other things. But anyway, so what happened last week was our Lions Club, we have a camp that we do every summer for visually and hearing impaired kids. So on the 14th, we went out there to cook them their dinner because we had an open house. So not only were the kids there, but also other Lions members were there. That was on the 14th, and then that went really well. Everybody enjoyed that. And so then on the 15th, we had a all-day meeting because I had I sit on the board of trustees for our Lions Foundation. So we had our meeting all day that day, Saturday, and Sunday we didn't really do much of anything. John just did some yard work, but that was really about it. And then we had a couple days where we didn't have too much to do. He had a meeting Monday night, but I didn't really have much to do until, did we have something going Wednesday? I'm trying to think if we had something going Wednesday. I don't think so. We had Thursday, which was the 20th, I had to sing for we have a minor league baseball team in one of the towns here. And so I went to sing the national anthem for that ball game. It was Lions night, so with our club, so I did the national anthem. And oh my gosh, it was hotter than blazes that night. Holy moly, it was so hot and humid. I mean, hot is one thing, but man, that humidity was just evil. So that was kind of uncomfortable. Now, we're not big sports fans, so what we did was I sang, and then we left after that, because you know we're just not big sports fans, and also with the humidity and stuff, we didn't want to stay. We figured like a lot of beer was going to get sold that night, but you know, it's not cheap to you know, to drink beer at the ball games. So we figured, you know, because we're not sports fans anyway, and we wouldn't have stayed. You know, it'd be more economical for us to drink our own beer at home. So we left after that. And then the next night, which was the 21st, we had another session where we cooked the dinner for the kids at the camp. It was another group of kids, and I'm turning my book a little bit. It was another group of kids, so we made them dinner for that camp session. That went very well. They loved it. Everybody loved it. Really, really enjoyed themselves. Let's see. They really enjoyed themselves, like I was saying. So that was not good. So after that, what else? After that, Saturday, what did we do? Oh, we had a meeting on Saturday that lasted for a few hours, because it was a kind of a morning meeting, and then we had lunch afterwards. But it took us a little bit to drive to because it wasn't super close or anything, so that took us a little bit to get to. So that took up all of our Saturday, and then we went for a little bit of a walk. Like it was so hot and humid, and but we went for a little bit of a walk, but we decided to cut it short because it wasn't good for the dogs to be out when it was so hot. And I really wasn't feeling it that day, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. So we cut the walk real short that day. And then Sunday, oh my gosh, and you guys are gonna laugh at us, but we are a couple of meatheads, let me tell you. We are a couple of meatheads. We thought that our pen club meeting was on Sunday. So we drove, you know, where they have the pen club is like over an hour away, you know, that we drive to. So we drove over an hour to get to our pen club, only to discover that it actually happened the week before, because it happens on the third Sunday. But we discovered that it happened the week before because the Sunday that we were on was the fourth Sunday. So how do you like that? So we felt like a couple of total idiots for driving up there. So then I'm going to take this, I'm going to take this BD, or no, this is PB, number 312, PB. Yeah, that's what it says on here. So yeah, we totally wasted that day, because we are a couple of idiots that way, that we did that. So we had a nice little road trip, because we thought our pen club was that day when it was the week before, being as it was the third Sunday. So you can officially call my husband and I a couple of meatheads, because that was what we were. We are a couple of meatheads. So that was a wasted trip. So then we just kind of chilled on Sunday. And like I said, this week has been very slow, but like I said, because we've been so busy, I just haven't felt like doing squat. Like, I really haven't. And I'm not gonna lie and say that, oh yeah, I did all this coloring off camera, when I didn't, because I did not. I did not do any coloring at all. Like I said, I just pretty much dickered around. Didn't really do a whole heck of a lot of anything except for the stuff that needed to get done. Alright, I'm going to take this tender pink, and now I'm not really being totally mindful of these colors or anything. Like, I am just, I'm going to just, you know, kind of just put down some color just because I'm playing here with this. So I don't know how well this is going to turn out. But yeah, so I didn't feel like doing squat, like I said, so I pretty much just listened to my audiobooks, watched a few movies, you know, did the stuff around here that needed to get done. But other than that, like, I wasn't in the mood to even make any videos. I get in those spurts though when that happens. Like, I just don't want to. I don't want to, and I'm not going to subject you guys to that kind of mood, because I'm sure that it would show in the video, you know, in the quality of the video, and I don't want to do that with you guys. So I'd rather just wait. Ooh, that kind of shaded nicely. Like, some of these lighter colors, it looks a lot nicer when, you know, when you have like the pre-shaded things. So I didn't want to subject you guys to that, because like it would show in the quality of the video, and I just didn't want to do that with you guys. So I chose not to make any videos for that reason. And like I said, not only were we busy, but, you know, I've been a little bummed. I was telling you guys in the last video that Caleb is going to be retiring. Caleb is my my guide dog, and so he's going to be retiring, which means that I have to go back to training to get a new one. Now, Caleb is staying here with us. I think I told you guys that in the last video. He's not going anywhere. He just will not be a working dog anymore, which means, you know, he won't be able to go as much. The new one will be doing that. which means Caleb is going to miss his fan club. He has so many people that love him, but you know, why not? I mean, he is such a sweet boy, but typical golden, you know, need I say more, really? So, and I'm hoping I get another golden when I do the application. Like, I did the application, it got approved, so I heard from them. I got an email yesterday, and I got a phone call today, you know, with a few questions I needed to answer for them. So that is what's going on there. But yeah, I was like, it just kind of hit me because like, it's hard, you know, even though he's still going to be with me, you know, even though he is still going to be with me, it's still hard because like you know, it's a change and you got to get used to something different because it is quite a change, and you have to go back to class for training. And oh my gosh, so I have to I'm going to end up breaking in a new one. Breaking in a young one, because by the time we get them, they are like between like 18 months and 2 years. Caleb was 2 years when I got him back in 09. But yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, it is hard. It's hard. It's a change. So, you know, even though I knew this day was going to come, and I had been, you know, filling out the paperwork and stuff for it, like when I got everything in, and, you know, was kind of doing the waiting game, like it all just kind of hit me, you know, it really did. And so I was a little bummed about that. And like I said, when I'm bummed like that, I don't feel like making videos because I don't want to subject you guys to that kind of mood. So I just choose not to make the videos, and I wait until I am in a better frame of mind to do that. So hence, like I said, no video in about a week. But, you know, everything's okay. You know, nothing earth-shattering happened, just busyness and just me kind of taking a back seat, I guess. Everyone here is fine. No major illnesses, no major upsets, you know, everybody here is fine. So, you have nothing to worry about there. And I am hoping to get a few more videos out this week. I don't know how many more videos I'm going to be getting out because I don't really have any hauls coming up. I do have one book that is going to be coming in today that I'll do a flip through for you guys. But, and I'll show you guys what that book looks like, and I'm just going to make sure that I'm in frame. But I'll show you guys what that book looks like. And my camera, and I just took a minute and just kind of shut my camera off because it turns off on me after about 20, oh, did I mess up? It turns off on me after about like 29 minutes or something. It will do that. So I decided to go ahead and turn it off and then just kind of start up a second clip. I put this in a video editor. I've actually got two software programs I use because my Mac, I'm able to have a dual operating system. I can start up into the iOS Mac, or I can start up into Windows 7. So when I am working in the iOS operating system, I will work with iMovie. When I am in the Mac iOS, I will use iMovie. Now, I thought about getting Final Cut Pro, but it's a very, very expensive piece of software, and I probably wouldn't take advantage of all of the features that's in it. So, I think it's like $200 or $300 for that software. It's more of a professional editing software. My husband was actually going to get it for me, and I said, you know, I said the money could probably be spent more wisely because I'm probably not going to use up a lot of those features. So I decided to not get that at the time. I kind of wish I had though now because I kind of get in the mood where I want to play with some video editing software sometimes. But anyway, so I will use iMovie when I'm in the iOS system, which works perfectly fine for what I do. But when I start up into Windows, I will use Adobe Premiere Elements, which is what I use when I edit my Sims videos, because when I do my Sims gameplay videos, I do all that in Windows, because the game does not work very well on the Mac operating system. So I will do that in Windows. And let's see. So then I use Adobe Premiere Elements to do that. Now I could take this pink and run it over here too. I think I'm going to do that. Bless you. So now that piece of software, I'll tell you what, like when I started making my Sims videos, like I started doing it on the Mac, and then it just got so frustrating because it would freeze and crash. Like the game would just freeze and crash on me all the time. And I did have one editing software that I did have when I was doing all this on the Mac was called Screen Pro, I think. And that cost me a bit of money for that piece of software, but it did really well for what I needed it to do. But that software, my gosh, I think that software was like $100. And then you could get some of the updates for free, but sometimes when they would have an update, they'd want you to buy the update, which was like another, I think another $20 for an update. So sometimes, like, I think there was only maybe one time I did, because like the one that I had was totally outdated, and I was having a hard time getting it to work with the, with the new update that the iOS had. So there was no choice but to go ahead and cave to get the update for that. But then my Mac, it was about, I don't know, about a year or so ago, my Mac totally crashed. I was doing an update for the iOS and my Mac crashed. So I remember I was on the phone with Apple for a very long time trying to get things straightened out. And come to find out, I had to start from scratch. I had to load everything back from scratch, which meant that not even the backup would work, because I had everything backed up. I had everything backed up, but I couldn't get any of the backup stuff to work. So I had to reload the whole operating system, and then like I had to manually put back all of my my mail accounts and everything. And I mean, some of the stuff that was on the backup would work, like the pictures and stuff, because I had all of my pictures, I had all of my documents and stuff backed up, but I just could not get, a lot of the other stuff that I had on there to do that. Now, I had ultramarine over here. I could take this ultramarine and just kind of go around these little pink things and do that. That way we have one of the same color here. So that did not make me happy when I had to do that, because it meant that I had to start from scratch and reload everything. And Apple even tried to help me do a couple of other solutions, but it just didn't work. Like when it wanted to crash, it just wanted to crash. And I don't know what happened, because it was just an update that I was loading, an update to the operating system, but it just wasn't gonna take it. So, but thank goodness my Windows wasn't affected, because I really thought that I was gonna have to reload my Windows. I do that through Boot Camp on the Mac, but I really thought that I was gonna have to reload that. But that was safe. But how you end up doing that is it's a whole, oh my gosh, like I had to study a lot, or read it several times to learn how to do that because like you had to partition the hard drive. You had to, there was a lot that you had to do with it. So I hope I never have to do that again because it is a process and a half. But I'm glad that I did because now I can play my Sims without everything crashing. But yes, I learned the hard way one time to back everything up because I lost, I kid you not, there was one time, a couple times actually, I lost everything on my hard drive. This was back in the 90s, and I had a lot of email that I had wanted to save, but I lost everything on that hard drive. So I learned the hard way to back everything up because you just never know what's going to happen, and you could end up having a major loss. And I would have like cried if I would have lost all that because I have like, I've got stories that I've written on my computer. I've got pictures, I've got videos, you know, of Caleb and Abby, my other golden retriever. So I would have like cried my heart out if I lost all that stuff. So I back everything up in probably about 3 different places. I know it's a little bit paranoid, but that's just what I do because I'd rather be safe than sorry. And I also one time lost everything out of my Sims game because I did not, I didn't copy everything over to another hard drive or an external when I was trying to do some cleanup. This is when I was still playing on the Mac operating system with the game. Excuse me. And I lost everything. Everything. And let me tell you what, that really pissed me off. So I learned my lesson. You guys. I back everything up. Of course, a lot of my pictures and stuff now are in the cloud, like everything else. In the cloud. Which is a good thing. That's really not too bad. That pink next to that blue, that's really not too bad. I'm pretty happy with that actually. So yes, so word to the wise, back everything up. Because you are going to be sorry one of these days if you do not. I kept telling myself, oh, I got time to do it. I'll do it later on. I'll do it later on. Well, later on never came, and then later on, my stuff went kablooey. And that was not a good situation. It really was not. So I'm using the fine tip on these to get into these small spaces like these little diamonds here. Now, I want to thank Anne from A Colorful Life for actually showing us how to do the backgrounds because I was doing mine all wrong. And if you looked at one of the pictures that I colored from my last video, not the last video, but like where I showed my completed pages, I did a background and with Touch 5 markers and in my Color It Mandala book, and it turned out so streaky. But I was doing it wrong. So, colorist folly right there. Colorist's folly. And I was kind of giggling at Anne Hatfield because I remember saying that on that video, you know, colorist folly for that. And she got such a kick out of that, colorist folly. But you know what? It's true. Like, it is so true. Because that is exactly what happened. Because it's really not the fault of the markers; it's the fault of the person using the markers. You know, when you're trying to get it to work. Whoops. So yes, colorist folly. Okay, that's really not too bad. I have to say that's really not bad. Okay, so let's find our next color. I'm probably going to end up finishing this in one sitting. You know, I'm not sure how I feel about this part here, but some of this I don't think is going to turn out too bad for what this is. Now, I'm also going to try, because this book I think is going to be just one of my play books, and I will definitely be buying this book again because I really, really love this book. But okay, so then I have, we can try this blue-gray. I'm going to be buying this book again because I really like it. I really like the images in it, and I might just, in the second copy, I'll probably just use pencils. But this book here is going to be a what do you call it? You know, where I'm going to be using all different kinds of mediums in it. All right, so I'm going to use this blue and color in these little balls, these little circles. I wonder if I should use the fine tip on these because otherwise I feel like I may screw it up. I mean, it's a little bit of a bigger space, but sometimes I kind of feel like if I do that bullet tip, like I will get out of the line so bad, and then I'm not going to be happy. Takes a little bit longer to color it in, but and I feel like the color isn't so heavy if I do it this way too. Well, I don't know though. Here's with the fine point, that's with the bullet tip. It kind of looks the same, just applied a little bit differently. Well, okay. Maybe the bullet tip would be okay on this. Sure. All right, it's working out. It's working out. Just have to be careful around the edges, right? Yeah. See, I got out of the line just a little bit right there. But I will fix that. I mean, I can't erase it or anything, but I'll try to color over it with another color when I get to that piece. So this isn't really going to be my best work or anything. This is just playtime. This is playtime. This is testing to see what I think of it on this kind of book. You know, where it's sort of like grayscale-ish kind of stuff. Well, they call it pre-shaded. It's not really grayscale, but they call it pre-shaded. And I really don't know how I feel about using these markers on this. I seem to have better luck with pencils. I'm definitely a pencil gal. I know Anne, she really, really loves her markers, and you know, I can see that. And you know, it's what you're used to, I guess. It's what you first start out with, and I was a pencil gal, and I still am a pencil gal, but I will try out other things. I'm game to try just about anything. I don't know how wet mediums would work on something like this, because I don't know if the water would take off the shading and it may muddy your colors. I don't know. I just don't know. I couldn't tell you because I've not done anything like that with wet mediums. Okay, so I'm just trying to make sure that I'm in frame. Trying to keep my head out of the way. So I got my hair back today. Like I've been trying to remember to put my hair back. That way my hair doesn't get in the way. But oh my gosh, like and it is Thursday morning, the 27th. It is Thursday morning, the 27th, and I totally need to wash my hair. It's been just so humid lately. We've had a little bit of rain, some storms, so it's been really humid and hot, and so I have done my share of sweating. And I hate to sweat. I think I said this in a video, but I hate to sweat. I really do. So no, I don't like to work out. I don't like to work out because I am lazy that way. I mean, yeah, it's a necessary evil, I guess, but I don't like to do it. And I don't like to sweat. And I don't like to get out of lines, but I'm doing it anyway. But yeah, I don't like to sweat, but I've been sweating a lot this morning, so I totally need to wash my hair. Ugh. Because it just, oh my gosh, I hate that feeling. I hate that feeling like when you're just sweating and your head is just all wet, you know, from sweat, and it gets in your hair. Oh, I just hate that feeling. Anyway, on to more pleasant subjects, right? Oh, mercy me. Ugh. So, I don't have too much going on this week, like I was saying. No meetings or anything, thank God. Because, like I said, I was telling John that, I mean, this summer has just been so freaking redonkulous with everything that we've had to do. I said, next summer better not be so busy because, you know, it's my break from, you know, from the choral group I'm in, and I like to just sort of enjoy my summer where I'm not pressed to really have to do too much, but it's not been working out that way. And that kind of bummed me out too, because it just seems like we've had this and that and half a dozen other stuff to do. So I'm so glad that I get some downtime this week. So what I'm gonna plan to do is I am going to be doing some writing on my stories. I still have my Sims game to fix because, as I was explaining in one of my other videos, I think I have a mod issue where part of my game is giving me trouble. So I still have to fix that. And like I said, I'm going to be doing some writing on my stories. And I will be participating. Now I will be doing some coloring. I'll probably be doing, you know, quite a bit of coloring on camera with you guys, because I will be doing Anne's Creative Haven and Dover color along thing that she's going to be having in August. I did not participate in the Christmas in July. Well, number one, I didn't feel that I could commit to anything because we've been so busy this month in July. And you know what, like, I just wasn't feeling it. I just didn't want to do it, so I didn't. I figure if I don't really have the enthusiasm for it, I'm not going to force myself to do it, because then I do just a haphazard job on the picture. I mean, the book that they used is gorgeous. I like Johanna's Christmas, but I just wasn't feeling it. Like, I did not want to, I didn't feel like doing it. So I didn't, and it's too pretty of a book to just do a half-assed job on it. So I decided that I will just probably, when it comes closer to Christmas time, I'll work on some stuff in that. But no, I did not participate in the Christmas in July, but I guess everybody had a lot of fun with it, which is great. I'm glad everybody was enjoying it. That's what counts. But I am looking forward to Anne's Creative Haven color along, which I will be doing, because it will force me to actually do quite a bit of coloring in my mini Creative Haven books that I have. I have a lot of Dover and Creative Haven books that I can take advantage of for that. As you guys have seen in one of the videos I put out a couple weeks ago, because I was talking about Creative Haven and Dover. Whew, and I got out of that line. Holy moly. This is not going to be the prettiest, and I've gone out of the lines a little bit on this. But like I said, this is just playtime. This is just play. This is just playing around and just kind of getting the feel of this on this kind of this kind of paper. So that is what I am doing. That is my story, and I'm going to stick to it. Okay, I hope I got it all. Yeah, yikes. All right, I could put... I could put it around these guys too. I think I'll do that. So I'm just using this fine tip on this marker to get in between here. Now, as I said, this isn't going to be my prettiest work. And I'm just kind of playing around with these and getting used to these markers on this kind of paper. But as you can see, oh yeah, we got major bleed through, major bleed through. No, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm in frame. But I'm going to be able to do all of this in one sitting, I think. Because doing with these markers, it seems to go a lot quicker. Although I seem to be a bit sloppier with them, with these markers. But it is what it's going to be. That's why we test, and that's why we play around, and that's why we do what we do. Okay. But I'm going to test some actual crayons in this book too. Because as I was reading the introduction, like I was saying, they said that wax crayons would be good on something like this. They suggest to use more translucent colors because then you get to see the shading, and I could see that. Now I'm going to try my Crayola Super Tips on here, although I don't have very many of them. I want to get more of the Super Tips. I think I have like 45 or 50, and I know that they make a pack of 100 that I eventually want to get, although they're kind of expensive on Amazon. They're like 30 bucks on Amazon, and I don't know, it's kind of expensive to pay for the Super Tips. So I've been kind of holding off a little bit because I kind of find that that's a little bit expensive. But I'll try some Crayola Super Tips on one. I'll try the actual crayons on it. I know pencils do a beautiful job on this. Wet mediums I don't know about, but we're going to test one and see. Hopefully it's not going to muddy the colors. Because if I can get away with using like some Neo 2s on it, that would be amazing. Because I love my Neo 2s. I really do. Love my Neo 2s. I'm not going to lie about that. Love using those when I can. And I have misplaced my Zig Detailer, my Zig Detailer water brush. I have the ones from Pentel, and they're okay, you know, they're all right. I've not really had any issues with them. But I have misplaced my Zig Detailer, and I want to find my Zig Detailer because I love that brush. I mean, if worse comes to worse, I'll get another one. In fact, I'd been meaning to get a second one anyway. But yeah, I need to find my Zig Detailer. I normally don't misplace my stuff, but sometimes that just sort of happens. Alright, we're going to use this Aqua Mint on these bigger ones right here, and maybe these over here too, and then we'll be done with this baby. So we're going to, now some of these color combinations are probably weird and strange, but like I said, it's just playing around and just kind of going crazy with color. And like Dee Dee always says, I am the boss of my coloring book, and if I want to get color crazy, I will get color crazy if I so choose. So that is what we did. We got to color crazy. And you know what, like I tend to go for the fine tips a lot of the times on these markers. Now for the background, I did use the bullet tip because, boy, the fine tip would take a long time for that kind of thing. For that kind of background. And like I said, I don't think I'm going to be using these markers for backgrounds very much anymore because it puts down a lot of marker, and I don't want my markers to run out anytime soon. I know over time they will eventually dry out, but I want to get the most out of my markers that I can. And doing large backgrounds like that to me isn't really the way to go to get as much productivity out of them. But I do have 216 colors, so I can't really complain. I really can't, because I haven't really seen one that has that's a bad marker that had dried out or anything. So I think I got pretty lucky with the set that I got, in the fact that I don't think I have a dud, because I know sometimes with stuff like this you can get a dud. It's easy to do, and a couple people I think have reported that. And I don't know if you can get these in open stock. I don't know that you can. I've not seen them open stock, so I'm not sure if you can. Now see, if you use a lighter color, boy, you can really see that shading, can't you? Look at that. It's very pretty. It really is. It's very pretty like that. Flip the book again. We're just going to make sure that we're in frame so we can see. And I'm trying to be mindful of my head. I forgot to do my disclaimer. I am doing this with the visual impairment. I should have said this at the beginning of the video. I'm doing this with the visual impairment, so you are going to be seeing my head a little bit, maybe more than a little bit in the video, because I have to get close to my work to see what I am doing. So for anybody that is new on the channel, now just to kind of let you guys know too, I have made my newer videos where I have to approve like every single comment right now, and I'm going to tell you why I did that, because, you know, with all the nastiness that I've seen lately, because I've seen quite a lot of nastiness lately, on not just on my videos, but just on other videos too, like Grace. You know, Grace got a bunch of crap thrown at her, and you know, just stuff on other people's videos, and you know, my own plus other videos I've seen, and to me, there's just no need for that. So for now. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to reverse this, but for now I've got my comments on moderated status, because I feel that this will kind of help keep that nastiness at bay, and I can nip that in the bud before it even makes it onto a video, you know, makes it out to the general public. So for right now, all the comments are going to be moderated for the newer videos. If you go and watch an older video, you'll still be able to put stuff on there, but now for the ones that I'm putting out now for lately, those comments are all going to be moderated, because right now I feel that that is necessary for the time being. So, again, that is my story, and I am sticking right to it. So, what's everybody been coloring? I'm sure with the Christmas and July thing happening, I'm sure everybody's been coloring a lot of Christmas pictures. Some of you may not have participated in it, I don't know, but I know a lot of people have, and that's great. Will you be participating in Anne's Creative Haven and Dover color along for August? I definitely will be. I'm planning to do a lot of coloring for that. As for myself, like, this is the first picture I've colored since my last color in Gab, because like I said, I just haven't really felt like it lately. I haven't felt like doing squat for the reasons I explained earlier in the video. So This is my first chance I've colored in a little while. And it's nice to color again. I mean, I missed it, but like if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to force myself to do it, because as I said for the Christmas color along, if I were to force myself to do something like that, I just wouldn't be able to do it justice, and I'd probably just do a, you know, just a half-baked job on the picture, and I don't want to do that. I like to try to give that my best. Although I kind of say that, I say that in one breath, and then the next breath I'm going to say, this picture here is just playtime. Which it is. Alright, so I'm going to take this green and I'm going to color these in right here. So I'll probably stickle the crap out of this thing. I'll probably stickle the crap out of this thing. And I still have to stickle Ms. Sunshine, because I haven't even done that yet. And when I do that, that's going to go up on Instagram and my Facebook group. And I will also show my completed pages in another video. But that will happen in August, when I've actually got something to show. Because right now, I don't really have too much to show. Just because my coloring has been just pretty much non-existent lately. But we're going to be coloring quite a bit for Anne's color along. And I'll pick and choose some stuff that I want to color for myself. Oh, and also I still have to do Grace's color magazine challenge. Grace, I haven't forgotten about you, I promise. I promise, I promise. I have the magazine, and I even have the picture picked out. So I will be getting to that, I promise, I promise. But like I said, things around here have been very busy. Last week anyway. And then this week I just wanted to just not really do much, like I said. But I will be getting to your color magazine challenge. I promise, I promise. I've not forgotten about it. Because my husband got me the Taste of Home and Color magazine from the drugstore when he went to pick up a few things a few weeks back. And I got, yeah, I had asked him to pick me up a coloring magazine. I said, it's probably just in the magazine section, and it's not going to be too much money, you know, maybe just a couple of bucks or whatever. So I figured that they would have something at the drugstore because they have magazines and stuff there. So he looked at some of the choices that they had, and I guess he liked this one. He liked some of the pictures in this one. So that's what he picked up for me. Because normally, like, he doesn't, like, buy me, like, pick out coloring books for me. Like, he'll buy them for me. Like, you know, if we go to Barnes & Noble or something, like, you know, kind of like he'll buy me journals or something. But, you know, the coloring books, the journals and stuff, like, he does not pick out for me. So I don't really get surprised, like, with the coloring book or a journal. Because he doesn't pick that stuff out for me usually. The magazine was the one exception. You know, he leaves that up to me to pick out what I want, and then he'll get it for me. But he will pick out fountain pens for me. He will get me, he will surprise me with fountain pens. So that's one thing that he will do, because he knows what I like. And even though, like, we both have modern ones, like, you know, we both love the vintage ones. So he kind of helps me pick out, he picks a lot of stuff out for me, because he'll be able to tell more than I can if it's in good shape or not. Because with the, you know, with my eyesight being the way it is, you know, I don't always see, you know, certain marks or scratches or anything like that, or if the nib is or if the nib is bent out of shape or something like that. So he will look at stuff like that for me, and he'll, you know, he'll pick stuff out for me, which is perfectly fine. Like, we'll look at different sales together, because there's different places on the internet that you can get vintage fountain pens. So we'll look at stuff together, and you know, he'll say, you know, okay, which one do you like? Or, you know, hey, look at this pen, you know, what do you think of it? And usually I go, ooh. So then a lot of times he will get it for me. Unless the price is just really, really astronomical. Although we've paid some pretty good money for certain pens that we've gotten. I ain't gonna lie about that. Not gonna lie about that. Because, you know, some of those vintage ones, especially if you get ones in real nice shape, they're gonna run you quite a bit of money. Because, well, let's face it, they're, you know, they don't make those pens anymore because they're vintage. They don't make them anymore. And a lot of times, you know, being that they're old pens, you know, they've gotten a lot of use. Because fountain pens back in the day were utilities. It was a necessity because it's what you used to write with. And I did get out of the line with that blue right there. That's gonna drive me bonkers, but what the heck. So, you know, they weren't the collectible items that they are nowadays. So if you want a vintage fountain pen that's in a nice shape, especially, you know, some of the well-known brands, and especially even a rare one. If you find a rare one that's in real nice shape, oh boy. Yeah, it's going to cost you. It is going to cost you. So the fountain pen hobby is not an inexpensive one, although you can make it an inexpensive one. Like if you just want to get modern fountain pens, you know, there's some very inexpensive ones that's out there, and you know what, they work perfectly fine, you know, for just writing and stuff. And if you just want something to write with, to use, that looks, you know, fairly nice. You know, they have the modern fountain pens for, you know, 10-15 bucks. I have some Pilot Metropolitans, which are about 15 bucks a piece. And they make really nice workhorses. You know, they're nice writers. And actually, for the money you pay, you know, for just the 15 bucks that you pay for that, it's a very nice writer. Now, some of you may be saying, ooh, 15 bucks for a pen? Well, you know, look at the usage that you're going to get out of it, because it's not a throwaway. It's not a throwaway because you actually get, it comes with a converter, and so you get your ink to put in it, like you actually put ink in it. All right, guys, I think we're done with this. I will stickle this later. I will do some stickling of this later, but we are done with this, it looks like. I think I got everything. But yeah, I will stickle this later, and I'll come back and show you what that looks like after it dries. So, but yeah, those of you that may think, okay, you know, 10-15 bucks is quite expensive for a pen, but look at the usage, like I said, that you're going to be getting out of that thing, because you're going to be using it over and over again, because you're going to be putting your ink in it. It's not a throwaway. It comes with the cartridge converter, and you just get a bottle of ink, or you can get cartridges to put in it. You just pop them in and out. And yeah, so you just, it's, when you run out of ink, you put more in it, and off you go. So it's very, how do I put it? It goes a long way. Like, it's gonna be worth its weight in gold or steel or whatever, you know, depending on what you get. All right, so here is our picture. Now, as you can tell, it bled through a lot, like how it does on alcohol markers are gonna bleed through. So we have the cardstock. I put cardstock behind it to help out with that. And here's what our cardstock looked like, because it bled through on it. So definitely put stuff behind your picture if you're gonna use Touch 5 markers or any kind of alcohol markers on something like this. But here is our finished picture. It's not perfect, and it's definitely not my best work, but it turned out okay. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I'm real happy with it, but there's what it looks like with Touch 5 markers. I'm going to be trying some different mediums on different pages. So stay tuned for another video, and then we'll work in this book some more. And yeah, so that would be that. And so that is our finished picture. I'm gonna stickle that and I'll come back and show you guys the finished product after it's stickled and dried. So that is our coloring for the day in Rose Windows. You all have a great day. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, tell me what you think. Hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I think I said that, but while you were at it, hit that bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos. You have a great day and we will see you guys in the next video. All right, bye guys.